Okay, happy Tariff Friday, right? Good morning, Tracker,
Terrifying
and
Friday.
terrifying Tariff Friday. Not terrific, but terrifying. But yeah, this was kind of expected, guys. I think I have been talking about this possibility for a long time now of closing the potential gap here. But yeah, since we're running a little bit late, I'll just jump right into it. I'm sure some of you were waiting. And we can see, yeah, the 1.618, it kind of, if you go on the daily chart, it was flipped to a resistance yesterday. I made a post about it on X actually, how it was a support, and then yesterday it closed below it, and the day before it closed below it, and now on the daily chart we're right at the 200-day moving average, 100 days. So it has potential to stabilize here, but I just want to point out the fact that today is the weekly candle close, and we could even just try to close that gap right down there, which is right at 570.31, and the 50-week moving average is at 571.25. So a big previous resistance breakout back test. This is the name of the game, and let's see if it does continue to go lower first before building a nice base to go higher once again. So yeah, just a normal reaction in my opinion. Feels like the news was timed with the charts in my opinion, but that's just me. And QQQ, we can see that the potential to go back to the 497 is there. Even the 50-week moving average 491 is also there. So a big previous resistance right here. Breakout, a back test of that zone, perfectly normal. And we can see the IWM is going back down to the 200-week moving average, 198.59. I thought we were done with the 198s, but maybe not. And that would be also a big previous resistance zone, V bottom breakout back test of that zone. So I would have liked this 208, 205 zone to hold, but so far it has not. So we are going to just take this 1 week at a time. And those are the levels to watch today, right? 198 for the IWM. QQQ, we're watching basically 497 down to 491, and the SPY basically from the top of the cloud, 50-week 471, 470 zone. And Bitcoin's actually doing normal things too. If you look at the Bollinger Band, look what it did, right? It wicked up to the top of the Bollinger Band, got rejected, but we are getting some expansion, so it's good on the weekly chart. And we did already flip the 103,611 to support. And even if you go to the daily chart here, also the Bollinger Band was kind of rejected. But if you just drew a line from the previous wicks of the highs back here, back in January, right here, January, you could just see that doing a back test, right? I'll just take off that Bollinger Band. See the bodies of the candles, they never got that high back then. Never, never, never on the daily chart. But you know what? We're closing bodies of candles above the previous wicks, which is a bullish thing. So even if it does go back to retest 103, I think that's perfectly fine. But right now we are actually holding levels perfectly, and we haven't even really back tested the majority of these wicks down here. Right. So this is still a very, very nice development. Breakout back test and nothing bearish in my opinion. Tracker.
All right. Well, that's great. I've got a Bitcoin. I've got a very detailed Bitcoin chart. That's why I was late coming in. I was late for you guys, but Matt and I usually have about 10 minutes that we talk beforehand. We didn't do that today. I drew this chart up, and 100,012 was exactly the top here so far, and then we've had a move down to 107,367. I think what I did was I took a projection, try to not to make this too long and too detailed, but basically, here's the box that we were in before, right? And we broke out of the box. And then if it back tests this breakout right here, let's see, I take from the top that we hit, actually this should be 112. Uh, uh, I start with where my wave 3 sub wave 2, I call that the bottom for a lot of these charts. And that gives us this 382, 236, 18, except it's really bullish. So it doesn't go to the 618, it goes to the 50%. So if it went 382, almost 236, then 50%, it would look like 1025, 1058, and then a really scary just under 100,000 to get everyone freaked out. And then it runs back up again to 99,146. That's only if it does look at this as a breakout that it's got a back test again. I haven't looked at the really long-term charts to see if there's a moving average 75 through there. I don't see one. I don't see one. So anyway, but I like Matt's idea better that this is all the backtest that we need, and it keeps going up from there. But if not, so what I'm watching for is once again if it goes only up to 65 and doesn't go any higher than that. Might do that during the show. Um, then I'll look for like a 5 wave down move to 102, 562 before it starts to turn back up for the B wave up. And that B wave wouldn't get higher than 105, 874. There you go. If you want a copy of this, I just sent it to all my subscribers. It's only $3 a month. Subscribe and you can get this chart for your very own to look at. All right, and then Tesla. Let me pull this up. Where is a Tesla? Here's the VIX. Ooh, it's gone crazy. It might open here tomorrow. No, it went way over the other Tesla. And so Tesla's still in this box. If it stays in the box, it means upside next week, not today. But if it does break down today, then I'm expecting 305. But otherwise, I'm not in Tesla either way. I'm not buying it. I'm not shorting. I'm waiting for it to break out of this box, one side or the other. If it breaks down, I'll look for 305 and sell it there. If it breaks out of the box, then it's going to make a new box where it'll be stuck between, not stuck. It'll trade between 326 and 396. But let's wait and see what happens with this box first. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, so let me go to my Tesla chart here. TSLA. So Tesla, for me, it was just doing the obvious thing of keep on getting rejected at resistance. And actually, this week was the week that it did finally touch that 886, the 353.19. So it got rejected in the very important zone as expected. So it is going lower. How much lower can it go? I think switching to linear scale is a good reference here because we are now in the middle of a linear scale range of the 786 and the 702. 347.58 down to 321.32. So I think this is the this is the range it's going to stay in until something breaks. So maybe it comes back down to retest the low 320s. It got down pretty close to the 320s, I think, pre-market or aftermarket or something, one of those days, but not during the week, right? During the week, it did not get that low yet. So we do have that potential to backtest that still. So all of this news timing seems kind of suspect at a resistance zone. So yeah, I'm just taking it one day, 1 week at a time. And right now it's just range bound. So nothing new, nothing scary, just normal for me, for Tesla. All right, let's look at some of these requests going on here.
I didn't even hear about this tariff thing till this chat. The SHM says 50% tariffs on EU announced by Trump. He could cancel those on Sunday, just to let you know.
I think honestly, it really seems like a time news event because we're approaching resistance zones. It feels like that happens all the time, and then like last week and early this week, they extended prices a lot higher just so the back test would feel a lot worse. But in reality, it's still just a back test. So yeah, it seems very manipulative to me. He's probably got guys in his ear saying, okay, make this post right now. I swear that's how it works.
Real quick, what do you think of Bitcoin backtesting 102,500? Is that
well, I sent in my Patreon Telegram basically that I expected 107,400 this morning before it even hit, and it hit 107.3. So I think 106, 107 is my target for Bitcoin for a backtest. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
because
that would be fantastic.
I
would love to.
I think it's
higher.
It's mainly because of this right here, right? If you just don't look at the fibs, you look at these wicks right here. I'm also looking
Yep.
at this, right? Looking at just the bodies of the candles are finally closing above the wicks. This is what I'm looking, and that's right around 106. You know, so that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Nothing
All right.
scary
Nice.
at all,
All right. Maybe just disregard what I've got unless, you know,
unless that breaks.
unless it breaks. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, we got some requests doing URG. What is this? URG. UR energy. Well, it's below everything on the Ichimoku. It just made a lower low basically back on April. So this chart, I don't know about this chart. Yeah. For me, anything that keeps on making lower highs, lower lows is just a downtrend, and we don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, pre-market, it is above the conversion line, but we'll see how it closes, right? So let's just watch this weekly candle close for me. The 0.7361 pre-market's at 0.79. So if it does close a week above it, there's a chance to go higher. But if it keeps on getting rejected, if it just turns into a wick, then we got to be a little bit cautious because it could making lower lows like a falling knife.
As an Elliotician, I would just look at this chart and say, what I want to see is it to make a higher high, a higher low, then another new higher high than the previous one, and then a higher low. And I don't see that here yet. Let's see. Oh, I mean, with that chart right there. Let's see. Let me just show some interesting stuff. So what they announced that a nuclear Trump is going to sign some deal about making uranium and nuclear energy a priority. And this is the wrong chart. I'm sorry. Hang on. Oklo. So Oklo, it's interesting. It tested almost to my 618, and now it's back testing. But it's holding right here at this fib. I think Oklo does want to go to the 764 up here at 58.35 next. So if I'm right, it's a 36% upside from here. I know that wasn't one of the requests, but all the energy stuff looks really good. SMR, I'm in SMR. This touched the 618 overnight. It's back testing the 50%. If that holds, I think it really wants to go to the 764 up here at 34.82 next. Where price is now, that would be 26% higher. And then the back test down here at 22.91. Anyway, just some stuff, some tips from Tracker here. Have I done CEP before? That one sounds familiar. Cantor Equity Partners. Looks like I've got, this is the 1-2, and it kind of went back to the 1-2. Let's redo this one. This is one I haven't done since after the correction. Let's call this the 1-2. And it's just getting over its 382. I think it wants to go to the 618. So let's see if I get an 8-hour chart with the order block detectors off. No, still doesn't see anything. Yeah, let's try for the 618 next. So from here, 236, 1236, 764, and then 2236, way up here. Yeah, CEP, if it can hold, if it doesn't get very far, it holds here, then I think it'll go to 58.30 next, at least. All right, there. That's done. SMLR and MetaPlanet. So I did a stupid thing with MetaPlanet yesterday. I thought I would just do a quick in and out. Oh, I know, right? I thought I would just do a quick in and out trade. Right here, I bought right here. I thought I could make $7,000 or $14,000 before it did this. And what happened was I found out that my trading view is on a 20-minute delay from the actual price action. So by the time I figured that out, it's like it was already down here. It's like, oh no. And it doesn't even show what the price is right now. Right now, MetaPlanet is probably based on the other charts. I think it's down here near $5. And it's headed for 475 is where I was TAing to myself that was probably going to test back to. So if you see MetaPlanet hit 475, buy a bunch because I think that's where it's going to restart the next wave series up from. So anyway, I'm stuck in this for a little bit. Stupid 20-minute trading delay. I could do that. I've never had that in TradingView before. And then SMLR. Oh, I think this is the one that Matt does usually. Somewhere. I've got a chart, but it's not. Yeah, Matt always does this one because I haven't done a chart in this in a long time.
Well, it kind of got rejected for me, so it's what I'm seeing is
You.
normal. And I think you have the daily cloud right down there. I think, right?
Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
here's
No,
the
go ahead.
daily cloud. It's 3506. So if it goes, the top of the cloud is here at 4216. If that can hold, it looks like a kind of a little 1-2, then it would look good. Oh, I think could go to 153 next. So just, and I see what earnings just, that was May 13th. Next earnings isn't until August. Yeah, it's kind of holding. This is a decadal anchored VWAP, and it's right in the middle. So it's about priced correctly at the moment. Some exuberance should take it to the top of this band. Hang on one second. Let me just get one good picture on the right. So if this is the 1 and this is the 2, then it's gotten above the 11.4 Bros. And it's just fighting with a 236. Or it already kind of did. Test for 236. So 1236 should be next overall. So I guess I have TA'd this and I forgot all about it. It hasn't changed. It's except it did kind of, the 236 did not hold at $55. It's kind of dipped below it. But just hang out or DCA down. I think it should come back up. And once it gets over 382, it'll probably start to move really fast towards 207. There you go. That's just my opinion on that. I see. I'm getting all sorts of alerts on MetaPlanet now. There's data coming in. No, I can't tell. Never mind. Sorry about that. Yeah, MetaPlanet's supposed to, I think it's going to open lower, like with a gap down this morning. BTDR. BitDeer. Do I have a chart for BitDeer? Chart for BitDeer. After its big correction here, it's in this nice zone between the 382 and the 1256 should hold any test of support. Now let's take a look at, where is it now? 1256. It's at 1434. Kind of wick down here. I don't think it'll retest this. It's already had this wick right through here. I mean, maybe it tests back to 1256, but it really should hold right here on this 4-hour Ichimoku baseline and get back. It just got rejected the 382 the first time. Once it gets over the 382, BitDeer should, 8-hour chart. It's already done the 382.236. The 1236 is next at 136.78, which is a price improvement of 156 from where price is right now. So yeah, that looks good right there. Bitcoin, just don't fall any farther. Don't fall lower than Matt's 107 here. All right, Matt, you got anything else you want to that you can do?
Yeah, I got Sunrun. I see that request, and here we are. So Sunrun, it went up to my blue angle and got some liquidity above it. I can probably eliminate all the shorts up here, and then got rejected. So we started basically back in March. So this chart is really unchanged. There is going to be no change in as it's going back below the conversion and the baseline on the weekly chart. So optimistic just got negated with one bearish 45% down candle right back to where it started. So you're going to watch the support here of 623, the red angle, 625, that zone. Try to hold. If so, there's really no change from before. Stabilized, trying to form a bottom, a base on candles underneath this 625 zone, then it probably will drift lower into the fives. But until then, what was once optimistic is no longer, and it's just basically the same place it was before this fake out.
Let's see. I'm just jotting down some things here. If you guys want to see the energy stocks that are, that are going gangbusters right now, include QSI, SMR, UEC is a pure uranium play, NNE. What's those other ones? There's Oklo I just talked about. Anyway, so these are all ones you want to look. USI is between it hasn't even reached its 23.6% fib extension yet. So it's still got, from where price is now, 71% higher to go just to get to my minimum target of the 382 at 296. So QSI looks really good. Come on, you can do it. SMR is like I showed it already hit its 618. Backtesting the 50%. If it doesn't fall below the 50%, I think it's going to go to the 764 up here at 3482. From where price is right now, that would be 25% higher. UEC. Uranium Energy Corporation had a big spike last night. It's backtesting levels as well, but yeah, it's still fighting with the 236 boss. Hasn't even gotten to 382 yet, 711. So this one, if price starts recovering from here, it has 21% to go just to get to my minimum target at $7.11 at the 382 fib extension, NNE, and I showed you Oklo already. NNE hit the 382. It doesn't have to backtest the 236. This might just be its initial rejection of the 382, and I think it could go on to the 12382 next, which would be. I'm sorry, the 1236. It's 6886. From last time, it's already gone up higher. Now we're at 130% higher to the top of wave 3 at 6886. So there you go, a bunch of energy stocks that all will pay off with an entry from here. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I see some requests. Oh, I see Mattsby has the voice of a Greek underground hard god. I don't even know what that means, but all right.
You do have a lovely, lovely voice.
Do you think these tariffs will have a long-term effect on the market? No. I think aren't they just like a proposal? I don't even think it's he said he's going to sign any executive order or anything, but honestly, the dip, I bought some more this morning. I bought AVAX this morning, some crypto. I bought some Link. Or no, I bought some SUI. Yeah. I bought some stuff on that flush below some levels. So it's great for me. I think we're going to see some stability soon. But again, we're still looking at some back tests potentially for stocks. So let me just switch to NVIDIA. So speaking of some more back tests, I can see things going a little bit lower, maybe down to the 127, 126, go touch the cloud. Haven't really back tested that, right? So we're still in process. So even though things look like they could stabilize here, I think we still could go a little bit lower, even with Bitcoin and some of the altcoins, they could still go a little bit lower because the breakouts are pretty massive, right? So because of the breakouts are pretty massive, this was a huge 16% weekly candles. So I think they did this on purpose, guys. They broke it out massively just so they can back test it, maybe even go back down to 122 to freak everybody out. But in reality, it's just a previous resistance flipping to support. So this is happening to lots of things across the board, and I think it's the most healthy development there is. So the tariff stuff is just noise. Don't really care about it at all. I see also a request for CLSK. We'll look at the weekly chart here. And yeah, I got pretty close to the baseline up here. And we can put on the moving averages as well. And we can see it got rejected by the 100-week moving average yesterday. And because of that, maybe it's going to go back and back test the 200. We still haven't really even touched it, right? The 891 is there. Last week it got really close, but still never even touched it. So that is a possibility. Like even with Mara, we can see it got rejected by the 100-week moving average yesterday too. It's all technical, guys. Like things get rejected at resistance, then they go back to test the bottom of a range. And I mean, technically, the conversion line is way down here at 1352. It could back test that again too. But this is a healthy development. Something that was previously below the conversion line for many, many months is now currently above. So this is a definitely a trend reversal to the upside for a lot of things, especially with crypto related stuff. So nothing is scary at all. And speaking of crypto, I do see Solana SOL. So I will do that before I hand over the reins. So Solana, yeah, Solana is currently trying to break above this 174, right? And if you go to the daily chart here, it actually just wicked through it to backtest that support. So this is what I'm talking about. Even the daily chart got rejected here at the 200-day moving average, 181. So we're getting this scary news at resistance, guys. You just saw it with the miners charts. You saw it with these crypto charts. So if they can't break above, there's going to be scary news for some volatility. But that what they're doing is they're just back testing levels, and that's what just happened with Solana. So 174.77 is the goal to stay above for Solana. 181.24 is the daily resistance to break. It tried to break above, but then the news hit and just sent it right back down below. So I am not scared at all. I think this is perfectly normal and healthy before we break out. Oh, I see a Pepe. Sorry, I got to do Pepe first.
Yeah, do Pepe. I bought some Pepe after you talked about it 2 days ago or 3 days ago again.
Yeah.
I got that 10% boost.
And here's Pepe. Look at the news happened. Oh, it got rejected at resistance. So you're going to see this across the board with all crypto. If you just look at daily charts, really, resistance. So it's coming back down to retest support. Maybe it goes down to the 14139. Maybe it goes back down to the 13141, or so on. But it flipped. This purple is the 200-day moving average. It already flipped it back to a support. So I don't know what's so scary about this at all. It looks great. So the lower it goes, I think the better it can be. And it's just waiting to break above this 15482. And then when that happens, look at that. It could go way, way higher, even up to the 27368 up here, even much higher than that. The next orange level is at 41. So that would be a massive percentage gain. And I think it can get there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But this looks very, very bullish. If it goes up to that level, how much percentage would that be? That'd be a nice 185%. So we'll see.
Ooh, I like it. Bitfarms bankrupted my family. CAN? Do you mean Canaan Incorporated? This is a terrible chart. I would not trade this. I would stay away from Canaan. It's just making lower and lower and lower lows. I mean, it just made a new all-time low. I don't know what a couple weeks ago. Yeah, stay out of this. I don't know if this is the right chart that you meant for me to look at, but do not touch this. Unity. Unity software. It's just you. Oh man, I was really hoping this was gonna look better too. I'd stay away from this for now. Wait for it to make a new higher high than $31, and then get back to me on it. But right now, it's just kind of. I mean, it looks kind of weak. I don't know what's going on with their idea. I love Unity, the software. Not that I'm a programmer or anything, but I love video games. It looks like it's trying to get. It hasn't backtested this 236 yet. So from where it is right now, it might go back to 1940, and if 1940 holds, then it might want to come up here and be 639. But until it does that, or if it breaks below 1940, just get out. If it keeps going, if it does go to 2837 without going back, then I think it'll go to the 1382 up here at 3887. But like it's either going to do this, 764, 382, I'm gonna offset these so you can kind of see them. These are the two common patterns. Either you get the 382, or you get the 764, 382, 1382. There you go. And you know what's really interesting about this one is it looks a lot like an ABC, and so this is the pattern that I see a lot. If it's a correction and it's going down, go down. You absolutely can. You can reverse them. You can make them go in the opposite direction. You can do it in a downtrend, right? So like I could do this to here to here, and then look at some levels. And let's see. See, it tested down. It did a move from here to here. Is 100% move to 1539. Just crossed it briefly, came up and back tested it, and that held. So that's kind of good. Um, but yeah, so fibs work in either direction. And then if it was like an ABC correction, then this is the kind of move you kind of get. Anyway, I don't want to hog it all the time.
Your,
What else do we have?
your crow is making noise in the background, though. Your crow. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yes, it's a Bitcoin crossed 108,310. Remember, I was talking about how here. Let's see, where is USD? Oh, maybe I did draw a chart for Unity and you just couldn't see it because I was on the wrong chart template again. I've got a different template for Bitcoin than I have for everything else, and I grabbed this one because it was open. No, it's not even this one. It's this one. Yeah, I was saying like it could back test. No, it didn't do it yet. It just broke back a little lower than I thought it should. See, what I want to see.
Oh, the classic
is
broke back.
Yeah, what I want to see is to come back and test this moving average 75 up here, but maybe it's testing one lower. See, the next one on the 4-hour chart's way down here at 105. So I really want to see it come back and test this one up here at 108. We'll see. You know, after moving this much, it kind of comes back to the center and oscillates in the center, and then picks a direction. Hopefully, it goes to 108,960 next, and then gets over it. But if it rejects it, then I think it'll go lower. So put your, on your trading view, put a moving average 75, simple moving average, and then just look at it on the 1-hour chart, and you'll see this line right here. And we want to see it get back above it. Otherwise, because that would just make this a nice scare for liquidity. But if it tests back up to it and can't get back above it, then it could be forming a larger downtrend.
Noise.
There you have it.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more before I run away. Time flies so fast. I'll do MSTR and Ethereum because I saw ETH on there that I missed. So here's my MSTR. It's dropping back below the daily conversion line here. So can it go to the baseline? Of course it can. So we'll be watching Bitcoin price to see if it does, in fact, go back to the 106. If it does, then maybe MSTR might go back to the 367 to retest it. But as you can see in the daily chart, it got kind of extended from all the averages from the cloud and everything. So going back for a little back test does not scare anybody. I mean, it scares a lot of people, but it doesn't scare me. So I think, maybe a little bit lower first before higher, but this current zone kind of has potential to hold because it's not really making lower lows since this low that we got back on May 16th. So we can just watch this as a reference, maybe 389, right? It is going pre-market below that, but if it continues to close daily candles above it, is what I'm saying, then we don't have to worry about it going lower. So let's just watch that 389.01. And if it does start to make a lower low from that with a daily candle close, then perhaps it'll drift a little bit lower. But right now, it's basically right around that zone pre-market. So I'll be watching that. And Ethereum, wow, look at this 200-day moving average, right? Oh, rejection with the news. See what I'm saying? You guys, the bad news happens at resistance, good news happens at support. And there we are, right back at the conversion line. So we can see that 25.29 could be that support with even more support below in the 22s, but not sure it really needs to go back down that low. I think it has a good chance of stabilizing on top of this $2,500 zone. Because I think it really wants to break all this resistance above. We could just be stabilizing at a higher level until maybe some of the averages catch up to price a little bit later. But again, every chart I can show you basically some kind of resistance was hit on the daily chart, and this is another example. So I expected this. I think this is the reason why people get too excited at resistance and they chase and then they end up getting trapped. But this is why you want to buy support, not resistance right here. Perfect examples of that. So, Tracker, take us out with something good and juicy.
Okay, I've got DXYZ, and we've got some SpaceX, a big Starship launch coming up here. So DXYZ, I changed this chart to make this the bottom of my wave start. Wave 1, wave 2, and we haven't even gotten to the 382 yet. It's around the 236 right now, but I think it wants to go to at least the 382, and I would love to see it come to the 618. So, and then this is kind of interesting. This is kind of where you get these sort of head and shoulder, or not head and shoulder, cup and handle kind of situations. Because look, it from the high down here, and it comes up to my weight, and then it backs a little bit, and then comes back up, and then so this is where cup and handle is high, testing down to low, and then yeah, and then you just have this wave formation. It forms these cup and handles on all kinds of time scales, not just this larger scale, but smaller ones too. I can actually even kind of see one right here. Right here's one, kind of making its way. Anyway, DXYZ. Do I have the order block detectors on? It just doesn't have anything for me on the weekly chart. Oh, yeah, there we go. On the 8-hour chart, they're kind of bracketing 764. So yeah, I think an 8 at 60. Where did this number change? 67.43. So from where price is right now, last time it was down here at 39.27. Now we're a little higher at 41.87 to the 618 is 61% higher. So DXYZ looks pretty good from here. And that's where I'll leave you. Yeah. Overall, to the top of the wave 3 for prices right now, it's 163% higher to the $109.67. There you go, DXYZ. I will literally take us out into outer space. Oh my gosh.
Fantastic.
Hey, everybody, remember if you're rolling options next week, next week's a short week. Markets are closed on Monday, so there's only 4 trading days. So you're not gonna have as much time on those options if you're
Oh,
doing
yeah,
that stuff.
Memorial Day.
And we won't. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
Mm.
So go guys, go. Whatever happens today, just forget it after the close and relax for the weekend, and we'll come back and do it all again on Tuesday.
That's right. All right, guys. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Yep. Have a great weekend, Matt.
All right, you too. Bye.